course as well, the three-point sharpshooter. That's another interesting matchup to watch out for.
Got to keep an eye on both of those guys. Ashby can shoot it. No points against Austin Peay, so look for him to have a bounce-back game.
How about that from Massey? He just beat 7-foot shot-blocking ace Malcolm Wilson to the opening tip, and he goes in and scores two right away.
It's not about how high, but it's timing.
He's got some serious hops, too. What a start to this game for Josh Massey. Regular starting five here for Queens. Kalib Mathews has settled down the point guard position for them. Here's a lob to Wilson, but Massey keeps him from laying it in, and the sky hook is no good. But there is your first sign of trouble for Stetson as Bryce Cash knocks, it should have been a short rebound out. It's turned over by Colomario. Jordan Wood fouled, trying to get that ball out of his pocket. And it looks like Jordan Wood will shoot a couple of free throws.
You already see the pace of this game. Jordan Wood stepping into that passing lane and see him taking it the length of the floor and just a little bump. He lost the ball, but Colomario said, hey, I didn't touch it. But the two categories, if you're viewing tonight, you want to keep an eye on, it's rebounding the basketball and defense. Who's going to play the best defense and who's going to rebound the basketball?
Queens, their first couple of years in Division I, really struggled on the defensive end. They lost 7 games their first 2 years, even when they scored 80 points or more. This year, they're 7-0
yeah,
they score 80 points.
Very undersized team last year, but I like the pieces that Coach Leonard has put together with Colomario, with Mann, with Jabril.
Yeah, Mabon Jabril, we'll see him in a little bit. There's Wilson. This time has room to slam it home.
Yeah, won't score a lot of points, but around that basket, he is automatic. And, of course, that young man's leading the nation in block shots.
61 of them through 16 games. Almost 4 a game for Wilson. Phillips for 3. Jamie Phillips Jr. no good, and there's a good box out by Kalib Mathews.
Yeah, that's the glue of the team, Kalib Mathews.
Wilson again, and Stetson starting without a center tonight. He's going to have a hard time dealing with that. If they can get the ball to him, that's automatic.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a prolific offensive scorer or player by any means, but when you get the ball point-blank range, you should be able to convert.
The best defense to Wilson has been to foul him. Wood for 3, that's well short. And another one and done for the Hatters. You should expect a lot of that. This is a fantastic rebounding team in Queens. They beat Austin Peay on the boards 53-23 last Saturday. Deep 3, Ashby's got his first one. He just loves shooting against the Stetson Hatters.
And again, 0 for 5 against Austin Peay and 0 for 2 from the three-point line, so you just knew he's going to come out here ready to play.
4th all-time at Queens in three-pointers made at any era. He is a 39% three-point shooter for his career. There's Daniel McGregor, who drew a rare start tonight. He gets trapped underneath by Colomario. Back out to Makai Ellison. Shot clock winding down. 7-0 run for the Royals here. Ellison, little floater, breaks that up. His first 2.
And that's what Makai Ellison does so well. Get downhill, get inside the paint, puts pressure on your defense.
Massey gets his hand in and knocks the ball away.
Yeah, McGregor read that all the way.
Massey looking to push the button, and Mathews prevents that with a foul.
And the foul is on Kalib Mathews. No, maybe on Ashby, Chris Ashby. Yes, it is on Ashby. Nice pass there by McGregor, who came up with the steal, came over in rotation, saw it all the way, picked the pockets, went to the other end. And now let's see if Massey can convert. One of the best free throw shooters.
Leading free throw shooter for the season at 82%, although I cannot figure why Makai Ellison was so poor at the line in the non-conference.
Yeah.
He is an 88% free throw shooter at the JUCO level, and in conference play he's 27 of 28. So I would say he is Stetson's best free throw shooter, and of course Massey missed the first one as we were talking about it.
Massey and Wood, they're 4 and 5, and he missed both of them.
Cannot leave those points out there if you're the Stetson Hatters. Looked like Phillips kicked that ball, but the referees play on.
Coming into this game, Massey was 173 in the country.
Colomario and a foul on Massey.
Well, and that shows you Colomario. We talked about him getting points in different ways and just cutting to the basket. As I mentioned, this is a very good cutting and passing team. If you get caught looking and not help side defense, they're going to just pick you apart.
Colomario has had an interesting route. He was born and raised in Sao Paulo, Brazil, but spent his high school years in a place that is very different from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Mount Pleasant, Utah. Then he went to Fresno State, 4-year player, kind of a glue guy there, 5th starter, background guy, bench guy, and then comes to Queens for his graduate education and has exploded. There's an offensive rebound off a missed free throw. Chance for even more on this possession, and they'll get it through Bryce Cash.
Yeah, and those second chance opportunities have killed the Hatters all season long, but you remember I just said it, you got to keep your eye on defense, rebounding the basketball. So far, a decided advantage for Queens.
6-0 in the rebounding. It could be a very ugly spread by the end of the night based on where these two teams are. Hatters are going to have to shoot the ball well. They have not, in the early going, missed their first 2 threes.
And if you're not a very good rebounding team, you have to rebound by committee, and everybody has to buy into boxing out.
This is an ugly situation for Stetson. 3 seconds to shoot, and they've got an inbound from the backcourt.
And you don't think Queens understands that. They're pushing up everywhere on the floor.
The lob towards McGregor. They get it to him, but a block shot for Chris Ashby. Yeah. Just Ashby's 3rd block of the season. That one knocked away by McGregor. And now Abramo Sanka, who had started every conference game prior to this, is going to check in for McGregor. How about the job Grant Leonard's done with this program this year? He's been part of the program since 2013. Associate head coach for 6 years, and then took over the head coaching job as the team was making the D1 transition. Beautiful 3 out of the corner for Colomario.
Colomario is, again, just one of those quiet performers. He doesn't make a lot of noise in terms of how he scores, but you look up and he has 20 points.
He spent a ton of work in the gym on his 3-point shot as well. He was in the mid-20s through his first 3 years at Fresno State. Got up to 35% last year. He's at 41% this year. Jordan Wood was out of bounds when he caught that ball. And we head to our first time out with Queens at 4-0, dominating the Stetson Hatters. Ashby, Colomario already on the board from deep. The Royals up by 9.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
I thought weight loss was all about willpower.
Turns out, I just needed more options.
The new Weight Watchers, with access to prescription weight loss medication, one-on-one dietitian support, and our clinically proven points program. Join now at WeightWatchers.com.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Who was that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with Daddy?
He got infected.
Hurry! He's coming! I'm scared.
That's not Daddy anymore.
Rated R, only in theaters Friday.
Well, it has not been the championship defense that Donnie Jones would have hoped for. And look, this is what happens when you're a school like Stetson that goes on the sort of run that they did and gets noticed by the bigger fish in the ocean. Your entire starting 5, which had eligibility left, all 5 of them transfer out. Donnie Jones having a phenomenal run at Stetson. I mean, this program was a 7-win team when he picked it up, but This rebuild has not gone according to plan. As you see some of the numbers, they've struggled to score. They've struggled to get the ball back when they don't shoot well, and they've struggled to keep the ball before they even shoot it.
Yeah, amazingly enough, Queens is also in that 300-plus ranking in terms of turnovers. So they're right behind each other in the A-Sun. The only team that's worse is Bellarmine in terms of turning the basketball over. So you have number 2 and number 3, the worst team in terms of taking care of the basketball, playing right now.
We could see some fast breaks, some sloppiness. Stetson is second in the league in fast break points. A lot of subs out of the timeout. Nasir Mann, younger brother of the NBA's Trey Mann, is in for Queens, along with Yoav Berman and Jackson Pollard.
Yeah, and the Hatters no second chance opportunities.
No, they don't have a single rebound as of yet in this basketball game, not one.
And great box out.
They just got one on the last possession with Finley Sheridan. There's another made three, this time from Mann.
And Nasir Mann can do that. 6'5", 195. He comes in and he can put the basketball on the floor. He's a very good passer, and he shoots the ball, a good standing shooter as well.
Got off to a great start last year at McNeese State before he got hurt.
Yeah, went to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, there's been a valuable role player for Queens. There's Ellison for 2 more. Break a slump for Stetson. Snaps an 8-0 run a 10-0 run for the Royals. And there's Ellison getting inside. Yoav Berman.
Yeah, Berman.
Like Ellison touched it last and will stay with the Royals.
And Berman is another one of those pieces we talked about. Berman, Mann, Jabril, and Colomario. I mean, he's a veteran, guys. We take a look at it here. Colomario just going out of bounds and trying to throw it back in.
Berman is one of a really interesting new class of player that has emerged in the last few years in college basketball in the NIL era. Guys in their early 20s who have played professionally for multiple years overseas, coming in as 22, 23-year-old freshmen.
Yeah.
Mathews gets 2 there, and that's what Berman is part of that trend coming over from Israel.
There are some NCAA stipulations in that, you cannot have signed a contract, so he could be on a pro team, probably one of those development type players.
Right, he played for the youth national teams.
Exactly. And you see the stats where there's a miss there by a good drive, but a miss by Sheridan.
Colomario with the bomb, and it's thrown down by Mathews. Donnie Jones calls timeout.
And Kalib Mathews is the glue guy. And I talked with Evan off air when we talked about it. I said, man, this is the guy. Yes, Colomario. Yes, you talked about him. But look at the pass by Colomario, and look at the only player that was there when he was a Division II team, Kalib Mathews, with the bang out.
He's averaging a career high in assists. Leads qualifying players on the team in free throw percentage. So far tonight, 4 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist.
Yeah, we talk about Colomario, we talk about Ashby, but he is the glue for this team, Kalib Mathews. And another one of those 6'4", 6'5" guys, Evan, we talk about, that's just tough to deal with.
Massey comes back into the game. The Hatters with a radically different look out of the timeout. They have subbed in all 5 players. Massey, who started the game almost as a de facto center, is going to play the 3 here. They've got 2 centers in the game in Trayton Thompson and Stefano Alesso after they started the game with none. They're being out-rebounded 9-1. It just seems like Donnie Jones is just trying anything right now. Give me one combination that works.
Right, exactly. Searching for number 1 effort. And you see Queens full court press, no zone press, just straight up man-to-man, 94 feet.
Alesso, hook over, Pollard is short.
But just did not take his time. Nice move, point-blank range. Got to make those.
Berman, pull-up 3. Way off, rebound Alesso. Hatters are 1 of their last 9 from the field. Great no-look dish, and Thompson drops it. That was a lovely pass by Alesso. Trayton Thompson couldn't handle it, and then a jump ball as McGregor gets all over Mann. And I think McGregor, I'm just speculating here, but the effort that he shows has to be a big part of why he drew that start tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he brings some toughness, and then he brings that effort. And he's a guy that's out there that looks like he wants to play and wants to win.
Still a sizable lead for Queens. Alesso got a piece of that, but Pollard has it back. And there's McGregor with an interception. McGregor hesitates a little bit, and Queens was very quick to get back on that fast break. And then McGregor steps out of bounds, harassed by Bryce Cash.
And Bryce Cash is really the point guard. He's jumped into that role. They're playing that point, and they're much like the Hatters, kind of point guard by committee. He'll play some, and then of course Mathews, and of course Ashby will play some. But
so, you know, we've talked a lot this year about how Stetson doesn't have a true point guard, why that has made them struggle. You're right that Queens doesn't really either. Why have they been able to overcome that?
Well, I think their pieces mesh together better than the Hatters' pieces. You know, you still had Kalib Mathews and Cash played last year, so their pieces are meshing a little better together, and they have bought into their roles.
Thompson did well to save that. Sanya and Massey. No room to breathe here. Massey, though, does draw a foul. Love the way Queens is playing defense, though, so far. They are in full control, up a couple of touchdowns after 8 minutes.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
I was originally in the Discovery program. Stetson gave me the option to explore so many majors, and now I've found my passion and my people.
I could do a lot of things outside of my major, and I never would have known that had this school not set me up with those opportunities.
I'm really happy that I ended up coming to Stetson.
Queens in their third year at the Division I level. They have the all-time lead on this series, 3-2, winning back in January. They did lose the most important game between these two sides. That was back last March when Stetson knocked Queens out of the ASUN tournament in the quarterfinal, ended their season.
Yeah,
Queens, you sweep the team the next year, that'd be a pretty good slice of revenge, and well on their way to doing that so far.
Indeed, I think when they came into D-Land at regular season game, they hadn't won a road game. And
that was a big upset when they won that game.
It was.
Stetson was the team that was on top of the world at that point. They were still fighting for the #1 seed. They ended up as the 2. His man off the steal, and Sanya called for a late foul after what looked like pretty good defense. What do you think?
Yeah. Alesso kind of playing around with the basketball a little too much, and man takes it away and goes to the length of the floor. Not much maybe with the body, and really not much contact at all, but the officials thought maybe with the little lower body there is why Nasir Mann is at the free throw line.
Trey Mann currently plying his trade for the Charlotte Hornets. His Nasir's older brother, having a career year. 14 points a game, shooting 40% from 3.
Nasir, 72% free throw shooter, knocked both of those down.
The younger man started at Santa Fe Community College. Thompson, deep 3, not even close, rebounded by Nasir Mann. Wilson back in the game. #1 shot blocker in the country.
The Hatters content to stay in that man-to-man, but look at the passing and the second chance opportunity.
Another offensive rebound. 3 for Ashby, no good. And it's out off of the Royals.
And luckily for the Hatters. We talk about 6'4", 6'5" guys that give you problems. This league is full of them, but Bryce Cash is one of those for in Queens. Another 6'5" guy that's super strong, you know, that's rebound the basketball very well.
Unanimous ASUN All-Freshman last year. His scoring is down this year, but his rebounds and assists are both up. He's transitioned into more of an on-ball facilitator role. Everything from Stetson is short so far. That from Ashby is dead on.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. And Chris Ashby, one of the quicker releases in the ASUN, and just a good push. As you see, they like to push the pace, push the ball up the floor, find those shooters.
He's 2 of 3 to start the night. And Wilson grabbing on Thompson is called for his first foul.
Yeah, we take a look at that. If we get an opportunity to see it there, I can tell you what went right and what went wrong. And look at the entry pass, and look at Trayton Thompson. His right leg was dropped. That right leg, your shoulders have to be square with the passer. And that's why he been unable to receive that basketball.
Jordan Wood checks in for Thompson. Jamie Phillips Jr. back in the game as well. Big rejection by Wilson.
And showing you why he's the top shot blocker in the NCAA.
His 62nd block of the year. His first 3 games of the season, he had 8, 6, and 6 blocks. He's gone over 5 on 7 occasions. Queens is just blowing this one open early. Colomario settles behind the line. Short. Rebound tip to Alex Doyle for Stetson. Rolls it ahead to Ellison. Blaze Senior for 3. Off the back iron, and again, 1 and done. And then a foul away from the play. It's on Wilson. His second. And as is true of a lot of players of his archetype, you know, those big guys, aggressive shot blockers, they can get into foul trouble.
Yeah, take a look at underneath the basket. Both players holding each other, but the officials thought that Mr. Wilson was holding Mr. Wood a little more.
Well, Jackson Pollard comes back in for Wilson. Bryce Cash will get a breather as well, as Yoav Berman returns. Alex Doyle, see him put it on the deck very often. Steps back for 3, in and out. And another foul on the rebound against Queens.
Yeah, it's going to be on Colomario.
That's his second.
They are making a concerted effort to box out, but you have to not only use your arms, you got to keep your arms up extended. You cannot push your arms and push a player like that. And that's exactly what happened there.
Well, the Hatters with another bite at the apple. Ellison short again. Everything from Ellison is about 6 inches short right now. And a terrible pass by Colomario, throws it away.
Yeah, Kalib Mathews,
says that's my bad.
Yeah, he can jump, but maybe not quite that high.
They already hit one of those earlier tonight. I don't blame him for going for it. Everything is going Queens' way right now.
That's my jump for tonight. But that one, yes, behind him and almost at the top of the square. So
Stetson hasn't scored in over 5 minutes. They've missed 11 of their last 12 shots. Just a nightmare start for them. Phillips Jr. go to the line.
And we talk about Josh Massey in the post. This is the other good post player for the Hatters. And both of those guys are guards. As we take a look at it here, Berman just too much hand, perhaps thinking he's playing international basketball where that would have been allowed, but not on the college level. Too much grabbing there.
It's his second foul. Only thing that has gone wrong for Queens is the foul trouble. Colomario, Berman, and Wilson all with 2. And Berman will check out for Nasir Mann.
And of this group, it's mostly Pollard is the one that normally is in foul trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have any.
Doesn't have any.
Phillips Jr. makes both. He's working hard to improve his free throw shooting. And you and I are both big fans of that young man, and shows an advanced feel for the game for his young age.
And the Hatters in there, 2-2-1 full court press, an opportunity to set that up with a made free throw.
LeBron Jabril into the game for the first time. Pollard trapped underneath, but gets it out to Mann. Missed the three. Senior with a rebound over Jabril.
Great defensive effort there for the Hatters, and good ball movement for Queens. Just couldn't get it to go down.
Alex Doyle drills a corner three, and the Hatters have a little life.
Loves that left corner. That's where you will find him most of the time, and if he gets those feet set, Doyle can knock those down.
Jabril for three. Long rebound out to Mann. Jabril this time driving and gets the roll for the and one.
Yeah, Jamie Phillips prevented the dunk, but did not prevent the shot from going in. Those long rebounds from that missed Karam comes back out. And you know Ashby with the rebound, or no, Mann with the rebound, and passes it to Jabril. The foul gets it to go in.
Mabon Jabril from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, has appeared in every game. Had his best game against Ole Miss when he made 5 threes.
Yeah, and you know, before the game, I was telling you I watched him earlier against Brigham Young, and he knocked down 3 threes in a row, and everybody's looking around and saying, who is this guy? I really like him. He's another one of those pieces that Coach Leonard added to this team that's paying dividends.
Harder and harder these days to be a rotation player as a true freshman. Ellison inside. Nothing there, and Jabril comes down with the board. Jabril goes back to the free throw line, going coast to coast.
Yeah, had Doyle held his position, it could have been a charge.
Mabon Jabril will be back at the line for Queens when we come back.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
I thought weight loss was all about willpower.
Turns out, I just needed more options.
The new Weight Watchers, with access to prescription weight loss medication, one-on-one dietitian support, and our clinically proven points program. Join now at WeightWatchers.com.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Who was that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with Daddy?
He got infected.
Hurry! He's coming! I'm scared.
That's not Daddy anymore.
Rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Grant Leonard's Queens Royals in first place all alone, the only undefeated team left in the Atlantic Sun. And right now in complete control here in DeLand as Mabon Jabril prepares to go back to the free throw line, try and stretch this lead out to 18 points in the first half.
They look very formidable, and they're trying to let the conference know that this is no joke. This is not an anomaly that they're 4-0.
And Greg, the improvement defensively for this team from last season is staggering. A lot was made about how they lost their 2 leading scorers, A.J. McKee and Dayton Albury. But with what they lost on that end, and they really haven't been much worse offensively, defensively they have taken just a gigantic leap. They're so much bigger. Not that they're massively imposing, but they just have so much more length on the wings than they did last season.
Defense is a lot like rebounding. It's all about effort. Effort, moving your feet, everybody on the string, everybody helping each other out. This is not a entrepreneurship. You know, when you're playing defense, it's a business where everybody should be helping one another.
It's a collective.
It is.
A co-op.
It is.
Nasir Mann with a steal. Jordan Wood rips the ball out of his hands, but it'll stay with the Royals as the Hatters turn it over.
And that's turnover number 5 for the Hatters. We talked about both of these teams turn the ball over at a high clip. Second and third worst in the ASUN.
Jabril's been a nice spark for the Royals. Ashby's in as well.
The Hatters are in their kind of matchup zone defense now. They've gone straight to man.
Mathews working against Phillips Jr. Finds a wide open man. Phillips Jr. rebound knocked out of his hands, and right there, that's just pure want and desire by Pollard. It leads to 2 points.
Yep, Phillips had the rebound,
that's
but
the game right there, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, we talked about rebounding. I hate to harp on it, but rebounding and defense, those are the 2 categories. They don't sound sexy, but they are the ones that's going to determine the outcome of this game.
Phillips driving. Tried to get it around Jabril and couldn't do it.
Just too long at 6'9", and he has a 7'5" wingspan.
Ashby, quick release. He is red hot tonight. 3 out of 4 for Chris Ashby.
Yeah,
Queens has blown the doors off this thing.
After going 0 for 2 against Austin Peay, you just knew a shooter is going to keep shooting, and just not enough attempts for him against Austin Peay.
There's a whistle and a foul against Ashby, his second. Set up a 1-and-1 for Stetson, and this is the one problem for Queens so far. You got 8 fouls with 4 players owning all 8. They're going to bring Colomario and Wilson back in, both of whom have 2, alongside Berman, who also has 2, Jabril and Cash.
But can you take advantage of that? You know, you're a Hatters team that's a perimeter-oriented team. You're not really used to pounding the ball inside. So can you even get more fouls on those individuals who are in foul trouble? And as we know, in college basketball, most of the time you have 2 fouls in the first half, you'll be sitting the rest of the half. So this is a gamble by Coach Leonard, but these are some veteran performers too.
So he's up 21 points.
Yeah.
Probably feeling pretty good about himself right now. Ellison makes both, but for Stetson, this has been a half to forget. They're 4 of 18 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3, getting out-rebounded 19-9. They have 5 turnovers to 1 assist. That's how you end up down 35-14. Saying you can't come up with the interception after it fell on his lap.
And it's been like
now he gets another tip. It falls right for Jabril, who's short from 3, but Wilson taps the rebound.
All season long, those 50-50 balls and the inability to rebound the basketball cleanly has hampered the Hatters.
Good defense there by Phillips Jr. on Colomario.
And good box out.
Now Ellison driving against Cash. Ooh, beautiful floater. Let's see if that gets the Hatters going a little bit.
The nice in and out hesitation. He can get to the basket and he can finish with either hand. He's very ambidextrous.
Would love to see him back next year with a true point guard beside him. Stetson had a perfect backcourt mix last year with Stephon Swenson and Jalen Blackman. Swenson has gone on to great success at UC Santa Barbara as a grad transfer. You see the game-winning 3 hit the other night?
Yes, I did.
He hit a fair few of those here in DeLand in his time, including in the ASUN semis last year.
And you know, I used to refer to him as Rich Paul, a.k.a. Rich Paul, because he was clutch with the K. And doing the same in UC Santa Barbara for the Gauchos.
Blackman, meanwhile, has been an effective 6th man for Miami. Though the Canes are certainly in an interesting spot right now with the abrupt retirement of Jim Larinaga.
Yeah. Coach Larinaga, like a couple of guys, just couldn't quite take all of this going on with the
Amazing
NIL.
receipt change. Your Mike Krzyzewski's, Nick Saban, Jim Boeheim. Cash, got it.
He's just so strong at 6'5", and he's good and well. Once he gets inside against a smaller opponent, I could just put it up.
Massey opts to roll it in rather than
nice pass
hit the button there.
Yeah. And if you're the Hatters, you're going to have to pick up the defense just a bit.
There's Wilson with the dunk.
But letting the guy get behind you and not knowing where the biggest guy in the building is at 7 foot, got to know where he is. If you're on the back line of defense, zone press, or anything.
Interception, Berman.
It's a bad pass by Sheridan.
Colomario, no good. Wilson taps it in. Hatters wanted basket interference. They will not give it.
Yeah, the Royals playing pitter-patter with the ball above the rim. I mean, everybody's crashing the glass. Nothing's going right for the Hatters.
Sheridan, that won't go. Colomario the rebound. And it is one and done basically every time out for the Hatters. Berman corner three. That's good.
Yep, he can shoot it.
Donnie Jones with a scowl calls timeout. Royals just having a laugh here at Inside Credit Union Arena.
Let the big fella get behind you. That's what happens. The three by Berman.
How do you measure the human spirit? In pounds? In milliliters? In the distance traveled between yesterday and today? Or maybe there's no way to measure the human spirit. Because as you remind us every day, it simply has no limit. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Beach International Airport. Happy travels start here. Just minutes from the world's most famous beach and steps from the Speedway. And for the locals, close to home, fast security checkpoints, and a first-class customer experience. Daytona Beach International Airport. The right airport, right here.
For gas. Ask for gourmet meals. Ask for endless hot water. For faster drying times. Ask for natural gas. Ask for appliances that last longer. Ask for more comfort. For higher return on your home's value. Ask for hurricane ready. For hot meals and hot showers in a power outage. Ask for benefits. Ask for energy savings. Ask for rebates. Ask for more. Ask for natural gas.
Chris Ashby, three-point sharpshooter, one of the best in Queens history. He went absolutely nuts 2 weeks ago against the Stetson Hatters. Set a D1 record for Queens with 8 made threes, 24-point outburst and a 9-point win. And tonight, he has picked up right where he left off. 3 out of 4 from deep to start this one. He's been part of a parade for the Royals here in DeLand.
Thing of beauty when you talk about shooting the basketball, squaring your body up, getting your feet set, quick release, textbook. The senior from Houston, Texas, Paris Junior College, shooting the cover off the basketball.
And that's the game high, that 9 points. Nobody's in double figures for Queens, and yet they have a 26-point lead. They're on pace for 100 points. They're shooting 55% from the field. 8 different players have made a field goal.
9 have played, 8 have scored. Pollard is the only one that's yet to score, but he has been busy doing a whole lot of other things, as he normally does for the Royals.
Stetson, meanwhile, 6 out of 21 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3 for a team that has shot 38% in the league from downtown, making 9 a game. That is not going to get it done.
Yeah. The Hatters just looking for something to go right.
Offensive rebound, Josh Massey who sticks it in.
Only
We're
the
hoping to
third.
see more of that if you were a Hatter fan off the top of the broadcast we mentioned.
Only the third
That's
offensive rebound of the night for the Hatters.
That's his first rebound of the game.
And he leads this team in that category.
Here's Pollard. See if he tries to get on the scoreboard here. Nope, passes it out and a wide open man. And Nasir Man misses the three-pointer.
Yeah, blown assignments. The Hatters, everybody looking inside.
Alesso, here's the help. Alesso takes too long to get the shot up, but then throws it in with his left hand. Good recovery there by Alesso after it looked like he'd run out of time.
Did not panic. Kept his pivot alive.
Oh, they left him open. Oh, off the back iron. It looked good from here.
Yeah,
and Mathews is fouled as he gets the offensive rebound.
The Hatters are flat-footed. Everybody's looking at the flight of the basketball. Nobody's boxing out their man. Nobody's making contact. And
a couple
Jordan
of
Wood gets the
Jabril's
foul
misses
right
have gone right off the back iron and it's almost hit with more velocity on the way back out.
Yeah, those threes, it's a matter of the trajectory of his shot too, and it's coming down at a clip where it hits that back rim. It's a live basketball. It's going to boing all the way back.
Pollard misses there, and the rebound for Massey. Queens takes a ton of threes. So far, about 50%, exactly 50% of their attempts are
got a mismatch inside.
Wood was screaming for it, but Sanya never saw it. Here goes Massey, stripped to the basketball, a late whistle on the Royals will put Massey on the line for a 1-and-1.
Late but correct call. As one of the few drives of the night, the Hatters take a look at it there. Some ball, but Pollard with the swipe, and I think the officials actually heard it too. Whenever you hear some skin pop, that it's an opportunity for them to say, yes, that was a foul.
That's 2 on Pollard. And Massey knocks down the front end.
We mentioned he and Jordan Wood are both number 4 and number 5 in the ASUN and free throw shooting. So the Hatters are a very good free throw shooting team. Not as good as they were a year ago, but still good enough to be 143 in the country at 72.
A year ago, they had 2 90% free throw shooters in their backcourt who got to the line a lot.
And guys that, that handle the ball all the time. What a luxury.
They're at 80% in their 4 ASUN games so far as a team. There's an offensive foul on Queens.
A legal screen there by
it's on Cash.
Bryce Cash. And we see this game after game where guys using a screen or using a pick, you have to wait. Okay, here it is right here, and he's just moving. Yeah, Ashby did nothing wrong there. Cash just moving.
Fortunately for the Hatters, Wood there to bail out that pass. Now Alesso spins off his man and scores it. That was gorgeous from Stefano Alesso. You see flashes with this kid where he could really be something in a couple of years.
And again, a post play is a matter of feel. Remember I talked about wrestling with the guy in the post? He was able to spin because he felt him leaning on him, so he spent right off of him. Beautiful shot.
McGregor gets his hand in the passing lane, but then throws it back to Ashby. Cash going inside. Good defense by the Hatters. Rebound man. He missed the shot. Nobody in a white jersey can catch it. Ashby, deep 3. In and out. Man roars in for another one as a foul. The desire, the heart on the boards of this Royals team is impressive.
This is what rebounding is all about. Number one, it's a good hustle by McGregor. No teammate to help him on that almost steal, but look at how many times they kept the basketball alive and kept their hands on it. And the best shooter in the gym, unable to get it to go down, but there it is. The Hatters flat-footed.
They say that was a shooting foul on Alesso, so man gets 2 free throws. That snaps a 8-0 Hatter run. Stetson actually put a little momentum together in the last couple of minutes. Now the final play of the half with Queens leading by 20. McGregor, 5 seconds. Got to do something. Well, that's something, all right. And the half comes to an end. That says it all about this group right now with Grant Leonard. Unselfish, team-oriented basketball.
And the glue, Kalib Mathews, 6 rebounds, 4 points, 1 assist, 1 steal.
How about 6 assists for Colomario at halftime? As Massey with a mid-range jumper. So Massey scores on the first possession of both halves.
Of the game. And right here, they're going to need a steady diet of that. And we talked about how he has to be assertive to help this team win.
Ashby, corner 3, that's no good. Stetson is actually on a 10-2 run going back to the last 3 minutes of the second half. Queens led by as much as 26 at one point. Stefano Alesso getting some more run, but he's blocked by Wilson. Second block of the game for the nation's leading shot blocker.
Yeah, he actually had Wilson on the first move. Had he just went straight up. As we take a look at here, right here, he had him. And now he went to the other hand and gave Wilson, as a good defender as he is, an opportunity to recover and jump and block it. He is a long drink of water.
Condor arms. It's why Georgetown wanted him. He spent 3 years in D.C. Now in his 5th and final season. Cash working on Jamie Phillips Jr. Well, those two look alike as they go.
Not only they resemble each other, but they have similar frames in terms of how they play. They both know the game. I think Phillips is a little more skilled.
Oh, nice move by Makai Ellison. Hey, maybe a little life for the Stetson Hatters here at the start of the second half.
Here's a missed shot on one end, and you come back on this end, and Makai Ellison doing what he does best, getting downhill in the teeth of the defense and able to put it up with either hand. This time, the chosen limb was the lefty.
We mentioned it, the one kind of chink in the armor for Queens in that first half was the fouls.
And he continues his torrid pace in ASUN play from the free throw line.
30 for 31, Makai Ellison from the free throw line. He's got 11 points. The Hatters actually have 2 players in double figures tonight. Massey and Ellison have about 2/3 of their scoring. Here's Mathews.
Yeah. There's the give and go. Again, cutting team. If you turn your back, if you're not sound on your defensive principles, you're going to get a layup against you.
Now Ellison in the trees. And Wilson just gobbles it up. His 3rd block of the night. Alesso inside, gets around him, didn't finish, but he gets the foul. And that's 3 on Malcolm Wilson.
Yeah, and Alesso understands that even though Wilson is a shot blocker, he's slight of build, and I'm bigger, so I'm going to bump him, and I'm going to bump him, and I'm going to get to the basket. There's the first block. But here's Alesso. I'm going to take him off the dribble and move with my body. Unable to get it to go, but a good drive by Alesso.
Alesso misses the free throw. He is 1 for 9 now at the free throw line as a collegiate player after that miss.
Just seems to rush everything. If he could slow things down a frame.
That one's good.
He has all the tools.
Alesso, 7 foot out of Buenos Aires. He prepped in Connecticut at Bridgeport. Talked about him in the preseason with Donnie Jones. He called him Jokic-y. Does some of those passing big man things and can bring the ball up the floor. Now, foul the Hatters here.
Said Alesso would be a crowd favorite. And that he is when you see him leading the break at 7 foot. That almost was a violation by Bryce Cash. He actually took a step. And when you're inbounding the ball, dead ball situation, you cannot move.
Pollard, 3. Jackson Pollard rattles down a 3, and
That's
now the 9th Queens player on the board.
First points of the game.
The shot clock failed to reset after the make, and so the whistle will get everything sorted. Jackson Pollard just a 28% three-point shooter, but this one rolls on in.
Yeah, but it looked good there when you get an opportunity to see the basket, set your feet, You shoot enough of them at practice every day at this level, you got to be able to make some of them, and he squared that one up and knocked it down.
Pollard playing his 50th game for Queens here tonight. Phillips Jr. throws one down to Alesso. Backs off Pollard, but can't finish with the left hand.
See, again, great move, rushed everything.
Colomario, good fake. And Ellison nearly stripped it out of his hands. Alesso with a big stuff. Didn't rush that. That looked pretty good. Ashby, catch and shoot, short from way out. Cash again goes up for the offensive rebound, and this continues from the first half. The rebound domination of the Royals. Colomario, blocked by Massey, but a foul.
We've seen a lot more contact tonight, but the swat down by Massey prompted the officials to make the call. Alesso right here staying on the ground on the first fake and a good block. And here's Massey thinking he had a block. It looks good, but with the body, the officials had to make that call.
A little bit of hand, too, as he comes off the basketball.
Yes.
Colomario will shoot a pair. He's a 73% three-point shooter. Did have some interest from some Power 4 programs when he was first coming out. Colorado checked in on him, BYU. Some programs that were power programs when he was a recruit, like Oregon State, Washington State. But settled at Fresno, where he played 118 games and now is the leading scorer for the #1 team in the Atlantic Sun, Queens Royals. He's got both. Just 7 points tonight for Colomario, but 7 rebounds and 6 assists as he checks out of the game.
Playing an all-around game, and we talked about him at the top of the telecast that you just don't think those stat lines look like that when you're watching him play, but you look around and he has all those numbers. Quiet performer.
Ellison limping a little bit after he hit the deck trying to cut, ends up with the basketball. Gets around Mathews and floats one up and in.
Oh, yeah. But
I'll throw out a comp for you from Mekhi Ellison for some Central Florida basketball fans. A lot of Cole Anthony to him. The way he kind of slithers in as an undersized guard, that runner, shoot it a little bit.
That's a good comparison. And just maybe 2 or 3 inches shorter, but yes, a good comparison. And we thought he was injured on that play, but of course, when you get the basketball, there's no panacea better.
Hatters get a stop, and then Trayton Thompson is hooked. Foul, looks like that's going to be on Nasir Mann, his first, and it'll send us to a timeout. Hatters hanging around, trying to make this a game with the ASUN leaders.
Seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com.
At Watson Realty, we continue to make selling your home easier and safer than ever. Simply contact a Watson Realtor to discuss your goals and determine your home's value. Then we'll market to ideal buyers and arrange for tours that match everyone's comfort level. Best of all, though we've adapted our methods to a new environment, we still offer legendary service and get your home sold. Sell the Watson way. Simple, safe, sold.
Queens looking to go to 5-0 in the ASUN. team that has just taken off since the start of December. They've won 8 of their last 9 going back to December 7th, and they've been so much better on the road this year. This would be their 5th straight road win.
Something they struggled mightily last year.
Yep, they were got their first road win here in late February. On February 22nd, they were 0-14 at that point. They go down to Fort Myers for what should be a really interesting game. They beat FGCU by 9 a couple of weeks ago. It's an odd quirk of the schedule that this sort of southeastern quadrant of Queens, West Georgia, Stetson, and Florida Gulf Coast will all see each other twice in the first 3 weeks of the season. West Georgia is going to be here on Saturday. Stetson beat them by 16 up in Georgia last 2 Saturdays ago. There's Ashby for another 3.
Yeah, you gotta know where he is, and you have to close out quick and make him put the ball on the floor. Austin P, they face guarded him the whole game, did not let him breathe. And the results, 0 for 2 from 3, 0 for 5.
Austin P played a great game on defense against Queens. They just couldn't get a rebound.
Yes.
On the other end, it's Mathews. He's got 8 and 6 with a steal tonight. And Donnie Jones, who only has 2 timeouts left, uses one of them here. He was not happy with that effort coming out of the timeout as Queens ripped off a quick 5-0 spurt. Royals up big.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on tasty berries frozen at peak ripeness, ready whenever you need them. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, from the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2025 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan.
BK Melts, wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Your life is pretty smart. But when it's time to eat, suddenly you feel out of sync. Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor. At Morgan Stanley, old school hard work meets bold new thinking. Partnering to unlock new ideas, to create new legacies, to transform a company, industry, economy, generation. Because grit and vision, working in lockstep, puts you on the path to your full potential. Old school grit, new world ideas. Morgan Stanley.
Have you heard? Soda's not a dirty word anymore. Introducing coffee, the best thing to happen to lemon lime since, well, lemons and limes. It's the iconic...
Stetson Hatters struggling tonight. Down 24 against the Queens Royals. Donnie Jones, what do you think his message was in that timeout?
Well, I think it's just things are just happening too easy. Missed assignments, things that they've talked about time and again. So he just wants them to understand that everything that you do from this point forward, don't even look at the score. It should be about what we've talked about, how we're going to get back in this basketball game.
Great offensive rebound for Phillips Jr. after he missed one and hit the rim 3 times. He'll go to the free throw line. That foul is on Jabril.
Yeah, just a good follow-up of your own shot and will not be denied. It looked a little like what Queens has looked like this entire game in terms of rebounding the basketball. And he's one of those guys that can do that for this Hatter team. Freshman Jamie Phillips Jr.
Missed the free throw, though. Stetson, non-Mackay Ellison division, has struggled at the line tonight. Other than Ellison, they are 6 of 11. Phillips gets the second to go. All 3 of his points have come at the line.
And you see he has a heavily bandaged his index fingers there.
Yeah, missed the whole month of December and only played 10 minutes in the first game between these two teams. Had to leave early, then didn't play over the weekend. Came back last week and looked great.
And that was a lower extremity injury, but now he has that coming back from that. Now you can see the finger heavily taped, and it's on his shooting hand as well. So that affects you grabbing the basketball.
Ashby into the shot clock, throws it to Alesso, and it's a shot clock violation.
And the Hatters have just not been able to get over the hump. They've put a couple of 2, 3, 4 points together, but
something I want to ask you about, because you got 2 teams that lost more than 60% of their production from last year. Stetson actually closer to 80%. And one rebuild seems to have made the team better, and the other has not really gotten going. And when you're in a position like Stetson and Queens in the portal era, the NIL era, there are going to be bigger fish all over the place. If you could recruit a guy, you'd have him at least 2 years, if not his whole career. Now, it really is, you're going to have to do this more often than not. How do you approach that as a head coach? And when you get it wrong, how do you then get it right the next time around?
Evan, I think there's a lot of factors involved, and one being the university, where you are, the academic standards, and then there's a combination of things in terms of what do you like to coach, how you like to coach, how you like to play, and then what's available in terms of in the portal, junior college. You got a combination of all that, because no longer you can just go straight from the high school ranks and try to develop kids. As you look at Nazir Mann, just take advantage of a smaller Ellison. So no longer can you just recruit from the high school level.
And the Queens rebuild is interesting. They start Win Colomario with a kind of a quote-unquote star player from a bigger program. There's some JUCO guys in here. There's some other kind of low major transfers. It's interesting to see how they've done it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, you've also got to consider the payment part of it. A former ASUN star was in the news this week. Chaz Lanier, former North Florida Osprey.
At Tennessee, has
been phenomenal at Tennessee. He broke out last year. He was a role player his first 3 years, came out of nowhere. 20 points a game on 45% three-point shooting last year for the Ospreys. He's basically replicated that at Tennessee. But Rick Barnes put him on the spot. He said he's got to come here and do what he's paid to do. And hearing that out of a college coach, I had to do a double take.
Oh, the game has changed so much in that regard.
But there is that factor. Even at this level, there is that factor to it.
So to really answer your question, I think it's a combination of things. There's no one size fits all. It just depends on a lot of, how Donnie Jones, how he coaches, how the style of play he likes, and the kids that want to come to play for him. But he has to have a combination of transfer portal, junior college, every once in a while, even though Stetson's standards are a little higher in terms of academics. And then a high school guy every once in a while, because if you have there's the cutting and the passing we talked about that they're so good at doing. And we've seen Mathews do that several times.
Yeah, he's in the double figures now. Well, their most successful pickup on this team has been the JUCO guy, Makai Ellison, on the ball here out of Flint, Michigan. It's been an outstanding transition for him to the D1 level. And I love when those high-scoring JUCO guys come over, because a bucket is a bucket, right? And Ellison has been another guy to kind of prove that.
Yes, and a scorer, and he has that will to score. And it's something about, you have to have an attitude. When you score the basketball, you score 1,000 points in 2 years, you know how to put the ball in the rack.
Jabril travels. That'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. Queens with a healthy lead as they look to move to 5-0 in the ASUN.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
I thought weight loss was all about willpower.
Turns out, I just needed more options.
The new Weight Watchers, with access to prescription weight loss medication, one-on-one dietitian support, and our clinically proven points program. Join now at WeightWatchers.com.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Who was that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with Daddy?
He got infected.
Hurry! He's coming! I'm scared.
That's not Daddy anymore.
Rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Back here on ESPN Plus, covering all of your ASUN basketball action this season through the Atlantic Sun Championships in March. Stetson Hatter women's team up to a 3-1 start in the league, but a tough shooting night for the Hatters tonight as they trail late in the fourth quarter by 11 in Florence. A somewhat frisky North Alabama team. Be 3-2 if they can hold on to that lead. Queens, I think, has moved beyond frisky. I think they're just flat out really good at this point. A 5-0 record in the offing if they can close this out. Bramo Sanko hasn't seen the floor much for the Hatters tonight, is back out there. Now Alex Doyle in and out from three. Stetson still 1 of 11 from three. Doyle has the only make from the left corner in the first half.
And that's where he likes to shoot. This one was in a different location. One of the toughest areas on the floor to shoot a three-point shot, the longest distance as well.
Cash shovels it underneath. Berman will go to the line.
And the bench for Queens, like, you gotta call that. And it was a late whistle, but a good call by the officials. We take a look at it here. There's the grab by Finlay Sheridan. Berman, we talked about him and his international experience.
It really is just a potpourri, a smorgasbord for Queens. You got the kind of bigger school transfer in Colomario. You've got the experienced international professional in Berman, a true freshman in Jabril, you know, a player in.
And Bryce Cash, who was a foundational player that was a freshman.
Yeah, unanimous ASUN all-freshman.
Right.
I mean, you know, man coming over from McNeese, but really a JUCO guy. He only played a few games last year, so they have put it together really impressively. And I do think that it's hard to overstate how much work Donnie Jones had to do replacing his entire starting five from a year ago, and 86% of his points transferred out or graduated.
Yeah, call up Mario trying to come up with the steal there, and there's the foul by Doyle to prevent, no doubt, fast break opportunity.
Second steal for Colomario, who's threatening a triple-double. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He could go to Vegas with those numbers.
And Bryce Cash knows he has a smaller opponent on him.
The help comes. It means Berman's open, and he knocks down the three.
And Berman is a guy that I really like, too, because he shoots the ball well and can knock down that three, but his international experience, and he's older too. You know,
he had a very cool experience playing for Ra'anana in Israel. They went on an American tour in the fall of 2023 and actually played 3 NBA teams in preseason scrimmages. He got 11 minutes against the Brooklyn Nets, made both of his shots, had 6 points.
Now, what about that? I scored against an NBA team.
I don't care if it's preseason or if it's summer league or whatever.
Yeah. After serving 3 years in the military.
An inbound that no one saw coming, and Colomario swipes it and scores.
And it's been that type of night. And the Hatters, just their 12th turnover. Coming into tonight's game, they were averaging right around 14.
McGregor just dropped his dribble. Cash, man! Wow!
And he had a couple of those that he almost got down against Austin Peay, but this time he made it happen.
He just about forced it through. Nasir Mann showing off the hops. Wow, what a dunk. Sheridan, no good from 3. And that was probably the punctuation mark on this one. Berman now lays it in. And Donnie Jones uses his last timeout in frustration.
And they just share the basketball so well. And of course, they're used to running and pushing the pace. And when you share the basketball like they do, and you're on that team, you're going to run because you're going to get it if you're open.
Take a look at this jam by Nasir Mann, though. This is...
Here's the turnover, and Cash just says, give me that, and he throws it ahead, and of course, bang out by Mr. Nasir Mann. That's for all the fellas back in the Villages, Florida, by way of Santa Fe Junior College and McNeese State Cowboys. Nasir.
Well, last week we saw a really good North Alabama team. We think they're going to be in it at the end of the year. You got Lipscomb, obviously, is going to be in play. Florida Gulf Coast looks like they might be on that level. Where does this Queens team stack up to you? How much of this we now presume to be a 5-0 start is real? How far do you think they can go, especially if they can keep this up and get some home court in the Atlantic Sun Championship?
They're right in the mix, but I also look at their bench. You know, not as deep as any of those other teams' bench. And I don't want to wish any ill will on anyone on Grant Leonard's team, but you know, everybody's one injury away from, boy, you know, so you don't want anything like that to happen, but they are a very solid team, 1-7.
Just impressed with the chemistry they've developed in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's not only, you know, the chemistry, but it's just buying into what he wants them to do and understanding that you got to play hard, you got to rebound, and you're going to get the basketball.
Colomario passes up the 3. No reason for Queens to be rushing shots right now, although they certainly like to push the pace. Been a little more measured this season. They were top 10 in the country in adjusted tempo last year. They're down to about 83rd, so still fast, but not crazy fast.
But the other great stat for them is that they've every year since they've joined the ASUN, they've led the ASUN in free throw attempts, which is.
Oh, how about that from Blaze Sanya? His first 2 points of the game and a chance at a 3rd.
Looked a lot like Makai Ellison on that drive there, but Blaze known for shooting basically a 20-point per game plus score coming in from a D2 program, but there he is taking it strong to the basket, putting a little English on it to get it to go down. But back to that stat of leading the ASUN in free throw attempts, that's pretty impressive.
They need to get better at percentage. They're at 65% for the year, but in the ASUN they've been much better. They're at 75% coming into tonight, and they're 10 of 12 this evening. So they have had a lot better fortune at the stripe in the last few weeks. And you know, you look at some of those close non-conference loss at home against Winthrop. Appalachian State, they gave a good game on the road.
Well, I think, too, it's like the analytics will look at it as we're getting to the free throw line a lot. Sooner or later, those percentages.
Yeah, your free throw rate is absolutely the thing you're looking at there for sure.
And what happens with that is you're also getting teams in foul trouble. So that's why I like inside-out game as opposed to the outside-in game. And, I'm one of those old-school guys, though, because it demoralizes a team when you're going to the free throw line, getting fouled, putting people in foul trouble.
How about that block from Mathews? Out to Jabril, and Phillips will foul him rather than concede the dunk. And it'll take us to a timeout as Queens is dominating here in DeLand.
Let's make some noise for your Stetson header.
Hey, John B. Need another debit card, huh? Don't worry, we got you covered.
When convenience matters most, it's video banking from Insight Credit Union for the win. Safe, secure personal service without having to bank in person. Insight Credit Union and you. Better together.
Stetson has really helped me find myself and just my interests, and it's helped me prioritize myself, put me first, find out what I'm interested in to make a difference.
Here, strength comes from within. Practice makes perfect.
And curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Queens up 35 points here in DeLand with 7.5 minutes to go. Evan West and Greg Turner. Queens about to win their 5th game in a row on the road. They have not lost a road game, or pardon, 5th out of 6. They did lose at Ole Miss in a bye game, the one that they kept under 20 back in late December. But their last road game that they lost against a non-Power 4 team was on November 24th, before Thanksgiving at East Tennessee State. Jabril misses a free throw.
It's the Buccaneers.
Former ASUN team many moons ago.
And Jabril is a 75% free throw shooter. Good-looking freshman from Waterloo, Ontario. And where is that, you might ask? It's about an hour, 10 minutes west of Toronto.
Phillips Jr. knocks down a 3. I didn't know your Canadian geography was that strong, or did you look it up?
Well, I'm always interested in where athletes are from.
You're allowed to look it up, by the way. You are a broadcaster. Nasir Mann ties his career high with that bucket. He's had a heck of a game here tonight.
Yes, he has.
15 points. He's got 5 rebounds and 3 steals. Wood, blocked by Wilson.
And Wood just doesn't look himself this game. He hasn't given the Hatters much of anything.
He didn't last Saturday either. He only had 5 points. In the 8 games preceding that, he had 17 points a game. And when he plays well, they tend to do well.
And tonight, 1 point.
Yeah, wow. Wilson turns it over here. Sanka somehow got that back and puts it in for his first 2.
Yeah, you thought he should have taken that 3. He elected for the drive and just a gratuitous bounce to be able to get it back. And I thought Kalib Mathews down the stretch was instrumental, and just, he had that lob dunk early in the first half, but he just does so many things well.
Yeah. His 8th rebound of the game. Queens' 16th offensive rebound. Hatters have just 5. They're up 19 overall on the glass. And Jabril missed a dunk. A lane had cleared for him. Now Sanka on the other end misses the layup.
Again, Sanka continues to struggle with putting the ball too low. You got to get it up on the glass in the square. Give it a chance to go in.
Let's talk about the Hatters here, Greg, because this is going to be their 2nd straight blowout loss to a top team in the league. They've got a game on Saturday that they pretty much have to win against West Georgia at home. Where do they go from here?
Yeah, you could say that, Evan, that it is a must-win. And there's Makai Ellison continuing to do what he does, is score the basketball. But you're going to have to come away with a win and take care of those home court games that you have. Right now, you're looking at that schedule, it's some tough opponents that are coming in here. So the games that you're on paper in to win, you have to win those games.
They've done that so far. They won at West Georgia. They won the Central Arkansas home game last Thursday. Sanka goes down the floor for 2, but this is a huge game on Saturday.
And this loss makes you only 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not totally out of the picture, but it'll look better if you can come away with the win Saturday and make it 3 and 3, and you're still right in the mix.
Mathews an and 1. He will have a chance to match his season high at the free throw line. You called it.
Yes, and you and I like to talk a lot off camera, but I said, Evan, you know, even I talked with before what players we want to look at. Yes, everybody likes Colomario, everybody likes Ashby. I said, but this is the guy that's the glue to this team, Kalib Mathews, the senior from Franklinton, North Carolina. And where is that? About 40 miles northeast of Durham, 45 minutes north of Raleigh.
We're certainly familiar with the incredible college basketball legacy of that area.
Oh, yes.
Sure, he's been to Cameron Indoor and the Dean Dome more than a few times.
Basketball country. He's just had a fantastic basketball game tonight.
Checks out with 13 points, 8 rebounds, a steal, and a block. Looks like Colomario is probably done for the night. He only got to 9 points, but he had 7 boards, 8 assists with only 2 turnovers and 3 steals. Ellison fouled on a 3 by Asjon Anderson, who's an end-of-the-bench guy, just checked in. Anderson, a JUCO transfer out of Tacoma, Washington. He was at Ranger Junior College in Texas last year. He puts Ellison on the line for 3 free throws.
That's part of that Texas Eastern Conference, which is tough basketball with San Jack, Lawn Morris, Jacksonville, Trinity Valley.
He was a 20-point per game scorer there and was playing quite a bit at the start of the year for Queens and has fallen out of the rotation the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And also in the game for Queens, you have number 2, DJ Shine.
Shine, a true freshman out of Augusta. He last played on the 21st of December against Ole Miss.
Augusta Christian, the Lions, and then he went on up to Brewster Academy.
That's a phenomenal prep program.
Yes,
they were in the top 10 in the country last year.
The Bobcats.
Ellison gets all 3. So he continues his tear at the free throw line. Now 33 of 34 in the last 5 games. 6 of 6 tonight. He's got 19 points. Again, Makai Ellison gets his.
And Coach Grant Leonard is just saying, I want to get out of here with this W and no injuries.
Berman fakes Massey. Alesso there to close out.
Got to shoot it.
Nothing there. Oh, Shine made it from 28 feet, but it won't count.
DJ Shine Jr., Augusta, Georgia.
All right, that'll send us to our final timeout on the floor. Queens headed to 5-0, top of the Atlantic Sun.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on tasty berries frozen at peak ripeness, ready whenever you need them. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a $319 per month lease on a 2025 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan.
BK Melts, wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melts season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Your life is pretty smart. But when it's time to eat, suddenly you feel out of sync. Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
At Morgan Stanley, old school hard work meets bold new thinking. Partnering to unlock new ideas, to create new legacies, to transform a company, industry, economy, generation. Because grit and vision, working in lockstep, puts you on the path to your full potential. Old school grit, new world ideas. Morgan Stanley.
Have you heard? Soda's not a dirty word anymore. Introducing coffee. The best thing to happen to lemon lime since, well, lemons and limes. It's the iconic...
Back here at Insight Credit Union Arena in Stetson and Queens, playing out the stretch. How about Jordan Mincy's Jacksonville looking to put away North Alabama? Unlike so many programs that lost their best player from last year, Robert McCray, the fifth, is back for JU. And that team, I think, probably needs to get talked about a little bit more as a conference title contender after their near run to the final last year as the 10 seed.
And so tough at home. Tough when they play up in Jacksonville in that gym.
Stetson doesn't play them until February 6th. They'll be here, and then the last game of the season is up there on the 26th of February for the Hatters.
A lot of things would have shaken out by then.
Florida Gulf Coast beat beat West Georgia 82-60 earlier tonight as Anderson gets on the board with a three.
Yeah, that looked good when he let it go from his hands.
Dalligan Johnson with 21 for the Eagles in that game. Shine no good. Anderson gets the long rebound. Shine gets another crack at it, and this one drops.
There he is. He's actually two for three. Counting the shot that didn't count right before the timeout. Good looking stroke that young man has as well.
Shine. No good with the heat check.
And a good unselfish play by Berman. Could have very well taken that.
There's a foul against the Royals. It'll put Sanka on the line for a 1-and-1. It's on Shine. Stetson Hatters facing something, we talked about it before the break, close to a must-win against West Georgia. What do they have to do differently on the court to win that game?
Well, tonight we talked about those two categories, defense and rebounding. Obviously, Queens took care of both of those. They're the #1 rebounding team in the ASUN, and they play great defense. The Hatters have not hit shots. They're going to have to hit shots because that's their offense, and their whole game is precedented on so much of shooting the basketball. So they're going to have to come out and find ways to score against a stingy University of West Georgia.
This team's not going to beat anybody shooting 37% from the field and 20% from three.
I mean, they're doing what they do from the free throw line. This is the #1 free throw made team in the ASUN, and of course Queens is #2. So Stetson, I mean, they're doing that, but they got to knock down shots. And so I suspect Coach Jones is going to probably turn up the pressure and try to manufacture some points that way to get his guys feeling good about themselves. Steals, easy buckets.
And can anybody other than Mekhi Ellison make something happen for the Hatters. 1-1 here for Jabril, and he's got the first.
And you know, Evan, we always talk about the number of guys you need to score. It's always that 3, you know. In the NBA, you talk about the big 3 on teams. And at this level, it's the same. You know, 2 is fine, but 3 is divine. You know, you have to have 3. You only have Ellison, and if it's Wood and Massey, they have to be consistent alongside Ellison.
Yeah, Massey's been a little bit more consistent lately.
Yes.
But Wood is the one that you're right, I think they need a little bit more from. And then who's going to get him the basketball has been the other big question the whole season. And then if your opponent gets 2 possessions to every one you get, it tends to be difficult. Here's Jabril.
Got away with the travel, but it's been that kind of night. For the Royals, everything has gone, but they have made their opportunities.
Got Jordan Neville in the game, a walk-on from Charlotte, East Mecklenburg High School, right in town. And Grant Leonard wants to use a timeout here. He's going to get another walk-on in. Anik Patel, sophomore from Foster City, California, will check into the game.
And why not? When you're up by 36.
Hatters are not going to use their walk-ons at this point. Into Anderson, who lays it in.
Defense is those 2 categories we talked about. The Hatters are going to have a lot of that too.
Stetson's given up 90+ in 3 of their 5 ASUN games now.
That's why they're in that lower percentile of the 355 teams in the NCAA, and the numbers, as you said, they don't lie.
Sheridan fouled going up for a dunk. He'll shoot a pair.
But 45 seconds left. You're losing by 36. But it only counts as 1 loss if you're the Hatters, and that's how
right.
You have to look at it. You know, you're 2-3 now. Now we can get back to 500. And if you're Queens, you're just feeling pretty good, you know, and we're going to go on down the southern part of the state of Florida.
Yeah, why wouldn't you think you could beat anybody right
Exactly.
now? That's going to be a big-time game. FGCU at 4-1. It'll be on ESPN Plus from Alico Arena at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
And that's a veteran team, even though Queens handled them early on, but that's another veteran ball club. And if you have some steady diets of the big fella inside and they have some good new pieces, it's going to be a very good basketball game.
Stetson's game against West Georgia is at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Here's Patel. He's got it! And the Queens bench goes berserk for Anik Patel. That kind of night, like you said. Love a moment like that. Stefano Alesso will take a couple of points here at the end, and Queens can run out the clock on a massive 35-point win that really was over before it even got going. Grant Leonard's Royals have won 9 out of 10 and stay in first place in the Atlantic Sun at 5-0.
Very good ball club. We talked about defense. We talked about rebounding. They're the #1 rebounding team in the ASUN. Decisive.